So they basically like been doing some surveys for a while, and there seems to have been a suspicion generally from certain academics that that Tutankhamun's tomb is not the complete story, that his tomb is actually potentially a corridor tomb.
Yeah.
And it leads on to another part of the tomb that's unopened. And that theory had been floating around, I think, for a little while, from maybe some kind of...
Is it just based on like the shape of it or something? Like it's not like a...
I think so.
Like if you look at the other tombs...
Exactly, yeah. The shape of where his burial is, where his sarcophagus was found, that actually... That looks like the corridor tombs that you see in other tombs, rather than the like larger end tomb. And they've started to find, like on the paintings, on the murals, on the walls, there's actually kind of like little kind of gaps and little type things that they sort of looked at them and went, those don't look right. They don't
as if
look
they're
like
a panel covering.
As if it's a panel or a door or something that's been
so cool.
like filled up with something.
That's some proper Indiana Jones shit.
Yeah, and it's really so. Just think about the Tutankhamun's tomb for a second. That thing was packed to the fucking roof with gold.
Yeah,
and
it was, yeah.
Can you imagine opening that thing to start with?
Just like the moment of like realising what you've got.
I mean, like, there's an intact tomb in there.
It's like a full-on, like, thousands of years old tomb of the Pharaoh of Egypt.
Yeah. And there's
that moment of
that hasn't been opened for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And you open it for that first time, and it's just like rich with not just gold and stuff, but like information.
Information,
about the people.
yeah. That's the crazy thing.
And that's was opened in what, 1920s?
Something, I think so. Yeah, something like that.
That hasn't the fact that there's potentially an area of it that we didn't know
that was
existed.
like an antechamber.
Yeah.
Like the main tomb.
Yes.
So like. He was the pharaoh though, Tutankhamun, right? He was a kid, but obviously died young. But like, so who's in the? Is it like is his mother or something? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Or possibly rumored to be.
Rumored to be potentially Queen Nefertiti, who was apparently his mother, or stepmother or something. And they probably built, presumably, the tomb originally for her. And then kind of he died early or something, and they sort of stuck him in as well. I don't really know the story. Exactly why they would be buried in the same tomb. Yeah,
but she's never been found, obviously.
No, exactly.
So it's possible that like there's like a much bigger, much richer tomb behind.
Yes,
maybe not richer, but certainly certainly like as big a deal.
So so potentially they've been doing scans with like radar scans and things, looking at the shape of it, and they found a space behind where this. This filler kind of in the wall paintings is, and they think they detected something about organics and stuff or metals. A basic was it radar or something?
Yeah, it was a radar scan. I think it was
one of the scans suggested there were surfaces in there.
Yeah, it was like I think it was they coming back with like these weird measurements from the radar that potentially could be like organic material, so like a body. And but it's not like confirmed at all.
No, and this is quite early information, isn't it?
Yeah.
They haven't fully processed all the data, but like potentially they could be opening a fresh tomb. They'll be able to do it like live. We'll be able to see it on TV, like a live stream of them opening an ancient Egyptian tomb.
Do you reckon they do that? Do you reckon they'd live stream it?
They better do.
I mean, they might. Why wouldn't they actually?
They better just live stream it.
Unless it's like booby trapped.
It just comes out and there's like
it's like head taken off with like a circular blade.
It's like the mummy with the scarab beetles come out and go under the skin. Go to people's brains.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
No, it's not likely. There could be another curse in there, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was the curse of Tutankhamun's tomb, right?
Yeah.
Loads of people died.
Yeah.
Which is what people do anyway, but...
Yeah. Which is obviously bollocks. But there could be another one, a second curse. Yeah. It was this curse. Time it was real.
A real curse, yeah. Curse of Nefertiti.
And there's some kind of weird ancient history... there's some potential information they're going to get out of this.
Well,
right?
You
were telling me about something about his dad, was it?
Yeah, so that era of ancient Egyptian history is like super interesting. I mean, a lot of it is super interesting. But Tutankhamun, so his father, like Ankh-Aten or something like that,
right?
Decided to just like scrap all the old gods, all like the Egyptian gods, so all the polytheistic religious stuff that they everyone worshipped. He was like, nah, that's all done. Sack that off, and instead we're going to be monotheistic. So he introduced the concept of like one god. I think it's called Aten or something like that. Yeah. And it's really interesting because I'm not sure of the exact dates of this guy's reign, but like there's loads of weird stuff about like some of the really early the first like writings and stuff about the Abrahamic religions.
Oh right.
And there's like links to this like period of ancient Egyptian history, like stuff in like I think it's stuff in the Old Testament, like in the Book of Psalms, that's like similar to some writings from there. I mean, that's not the only thing. There's a few like weird links that make it seem like maybe this period of Egyptian history was kind of like what spawned or like a catalyst for
the Abrahamic
religions like Judaism, Christianity, Islam.
What was the name of this god they worshipped?
Aten, I think. Aten or Aten.
And it was
Adam. I don't know. Like all these names sort of like correlate a bit.
Sound the same. Adam.
Doesn't really mean anything, but
no, sure.
Anyway, so I think that's a thing that like some historians of religion and stuff think that it's really interesting. So
was that guy's tomb like not intact then? Tutankhamun's dad's tomb. None of them were intact apart from Tutankhamun.
Most of them were like sacked, right?
Exactly. So
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But the cool thing is that Tutankhamun was like, he came into power and he was like, nah, screw this one god shit. Let's go back to Osiris and Ra and all that cool
old
stuff.
Badass stuff.
So it was like really short lived.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it's Nefertiti's tomb in there, then it could potentially be.
Was she was into it then? She was into the one.
Well,
god.
she was. I don't know.
But
she was part of that. She was part of that
generation. You might
like,
find some
rulers.
Inscriptions about
the
history of that.
Exactly.
That might give us some information about the biggest religions that are around today.
Which would be really super interesting.
Mad interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really hope they do it live. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine?
So cool. I'll watch the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, I'll stay up till whatever time they do it till. Mind you, it'll probably take days to start cutting through all the.
Yeah, that's true. They do it super slowly now.
Yeah, the
so carefully.
Those hieroglyphs on the wall and all the paintings and stuff will have to be really carefully removed and preserved before they drill through.
Yeah.
I don't quite know how they do that. Apparently, they've done it in other tombs though. There's like a German or Japanese team or something that's experts in it.
Right.
And they'll use similar techniques. I imagine it'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll definitely drill through it, won't they? They're not gonna.
Just leave it.
Leave it. That's mental. You got to drill through it.
It's a bit. So you know the Terracotta Army in China.
Yeah.
There's the hill that they're built around is is thought to be a tomb.
Is that true?
Of the emperor. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
And they haven't excavated it, even though they reckon that it almost definitely is. And I'm not sure why exactly. I think it's just because for fear of like damaging it.
Right.
But it's like just do it. Just do it. Just be careful.
I presume that sort of thing's quite valuable to the economy of a country, though. Like,
yeah, of course.
Egypt is totally reliant on tourism,
especially for Egypt. Yeah.
And so they would almost certainly open it. I would think, even if somewhere like China, which is less dependent on tourism, wouldn't.
Yeah.
And they might have obviously the different context. There might be that.
Yeah, it's a different.
There is a real. Like you open it, you collapse it basically.
Yeah, and the fact that the whole like Terracotta Army of like thousands of these soldiers surrounds the hill, it might be a bit like we don't want to like put them at risk as well.
The Terracotta Army.
Yeah,
but isn't all that? Well,
in China,
that's all in like warehouses now and stuff. Though,
well, most of it's still in situ.
Is it?
Which is they've just built warehouses over the top.
It, yeah. But why would that damage them from?
I don't know.
Or maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a sacred thing as well. They don't want to. They've dug up the whole army.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. I just know that there is thought to be chambers inside the hill that have not been excavated yet. So it might be that it's a little while, but I think they'll go in hard in the Egypt one.
Oh God, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that because that's going to be presumably this year. They'll know. There's some more data coming out, isn't there? At some point, they're going to
I think so.
Talk more about these surveys and stuff that they're doing. But they're going to open that. I very much doubt they would leave it.
Yeah, the Egyptian civilization was awesome. Like it's so interesting. Like one of the big earliest like huge big civilizations. Yeah. Like advanced and you know civilization building. Like
it lasted for so long as well.
It's insane. I know. It's like the best part of 3,000 years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly when Tutankhamun's like lies in that like period of time.
So that means I wonder what they.
It's insane. It's an insane length of time.
Think about how we view things that are 2,000 years old, 3,000 years old, as like they are ancient history.
Exactly. Well, like like this.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's a bit older, but
But
exactly.
Presumably, would they be viewing in ancient Egypt that things like the pyramids, which were built like thousands of years before certain parts of that culture, as would they still be seeing them as part of their own kind of, I don't know, kind of culture, or as ancient history? Because it's a continuous civilization.
And like
it changed, obviously.
Presumably it changed, but I mean things like the artwork and the hieroglyphs and stuff were pretty similar throughout the whole time. Similar. I mean, I don't know about the day-to-day language people spoke on the street and stuff, but the actual like recorded like language in the tombs and stuff,
it may have changed, but it's
pretty similar. I think throughout the whole time. It's just crazy. It's crazy that you get.
That's mad.
It's like plateaus for so long.
Yes, just a stable just fairly stable civilization.
Fairly stable, yeah. Pretty successful.
Longer than any other civilization I know of. There might be something else, but think about modern civilization.
Yeah.
Western civilization has not been around nowhere near that long.
No. I mean, there were probably some of the other big ones at the time, like the Babylonians and stuff like that, and Sumerians and stuff. They were probably pretty long as well. Might have been around
for a long time. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, nuts.
Very cool. Very cool. Keep an eye on it.
Worth looking out for sure.
Could be a huge discovery.
Yes.
And a lot more very cool information and interesting stuff about it. So
yeah, for sure.
Fingers crossed.